My mother always said the holiday should be a day on, not a day off. Today we're not here to celebrate. We're here to be on.
Good morning, Washington!
Dr. King said, the vote is the most powerful instrument ever devised by human beings for breaking down injustice and destroying the terrible walls which imprison people because they are different from others.
The word for nonviolence in Sanskrit, satyagraha, has two meanings. One is nonviolence, the other is insistence on the truth.
Today we are here for this march across the Frederick Douglass Bridge to say to the President and the United States Senate, you were successful with infrastructure, which is a great thing, but we need you to use that same energy to ensure that all Americans have the unencumbered right to vote.
If, as we believe we are our ancestors' answered prayers, we must ensure that our descendants become ours.
We're here to call for the immediate passage of the Freedom to Vote John Lewis Act, which is the combination of the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Act, which would restore voting rights that Republican legislators and governors are trying to take away in states across the country.
And on this day, we're standing and walking through the streets of D.C. to send a message that we want an end to the filibuster and we want and demand voting rights now.
We need to look at what we can do with that four-letter word. The best four-letter words I know of, love and vote.
We cannot redeem the soul of America without the courage to fight the barriers of cultural, systemic, environmental racism.
Want to see Congress pass meaningful voting rights protection, both in terms of access to the ballot and protecting the election results once they're in. I'm here as a DC resident today trying to carry on the hard work that Martin Luther King and this day inspires us all to do. And his work is left undone. It's up to all of us to continue doing it every day, and today in particular.
Voting rights was never partisan until recently. The voting rights bill passed 5 times for reauthorization under 4 Republican presidents. But now we're having a problem called the filibuster.
Ensuring that every student, everyone, has the access and opportunity and resources they need and deserve so they can boldly and completely live into their brilliance. For the members of the NEA, standing up for every student means standing against any effort to dismantle the voting rights that Dr. King fought so hard to secure.
And so if we don't stand up today and understand that this is a fight for freedom, we may find ourselves in a situation that is much more dire. So we're here to say to the country and to the world, we're watching. We're not going to stand down. We're not going to sit down. We're not going to step back. We're not going to give up.
We need John Lewis Voting Rights Restoration Act passed and the Freedom to Vote Act passed so that my little great nephew Jeremiah and his generation will have the ability to have a better quality of life for themselves and their children and their children's children.
So many people voted by mail, absentee ballot, in other ways. They use drop boxes, and that will go away in so many states if we do not have the passage of these important bills that have now been combined in the Freedom to Vote John R. Lewis Act.
Which black folks seem to be worth half. They seem to get a half of the good things and double of the bad. We've got to deal with this weird kind of formula that even right now in the Senate, we've got some funny math and a weird kind of formula.
And we're also calling out Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, do not stand in the way of justice. And don't worry, because we coming.
And yet, We're living in 2022, and we have fewer voting rights today than we did more than 50 years ago. And there's a rolling coup taking place across the country in state legislatures where folks are trying to diminish the power of a multiracial coalition of voters that are rising up for change.
Because nothing less is at stake than our democracy. This is about suppressing the vote. It's about nullifying the elections, which Dr. King talked about that day.
And so regardless of whatever might be in the news right now, regardless of whatever mansion or cinema or this person or the media says, we know that when we work together, when we have faith, when we faint not, we win. That's what we believe is about to happen.
If you really, truly want to honor Dr. King, don't dishonor him by using a congressional custom as an excuse for protecting our democracy.